One of the things I'm really big on is start thinking about visibility building activities. Like, what are the things you can do that start getting you seen and heard, and that, frankly, publicity puts you to the front of the line with regard to people choosing you for services ahead of any of your competition or people who do things like you? Because guess what? They've read about you, they've heard about you, they've seen you, and they've seen your how you do things. So there's just immediate connection that starts happening.
Hey there! You're listening to Amplify Your Legacy. This podcast is packed with insights and strategies to turn your passion into something that endures for generations. So get comfortable, stay inspired, and let's jump into today's episode with your host, Salana Brown. Welcome back to Amplify Your Legacy, the podcast where we explore how everyday people and powerhouse leaders create impact that's going to last for generations. I'm your host, Salana Brown, and I'm so excited. I'm talking with Jill Lublin, and we're going to talk about all that she's doing. She's a master of publicity, a founder, trainer, consultant, international speaker, and four-time best-selling author who helps entrepreneurs become media magnets, just like she is. Please join me in welcoming her. I'm thrilled to have her here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jill, let's start what you're doing right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and the work that you're currently doing to help people get seen, get heard, and get paid? I love the way you put that.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And that's called a soundbite. And that's what I help people do, is create a message that matters. I mean, that's really my heart and soul. And I love working with all kinds of entrepreneurs to really get your name out there, because really, without it, what is it's like having a great gift but nobody knows, right? And so one of the things I'm really big on is you got to get your name out there and create that visibility factor so that people say, I've heard of you somewhere. And what that does is up your trust game a lot. And so I've had a lot of experience, some of which you didn't mention is in the music business, which is all about perception. Yeah, and that's actually where my career started. And then throughout my career, I've owned a public relations agency and have had many iterations. Now I teach a media mastery intensive, which is a far easier way for people to get publicity without spending a fortune. And, I wrote the book Guerrilla Publicity. So that really, frankly, escalated my career. And I've been blessed to speak all over the world, including on stages with Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield and all kinds of people you might recognize. And in that, and what I've always learned is really, it's about being seen. And the more you are seen, the more trust you have in the marketplace, and the more the marketplace has trust in you, because you have earned your media, right? You didn't buy it, you didn't advertise for it. And it's certainly social media is not publicity, but now all of a sudden you're being interviewed and seen, and it does make a big difference.
I love that. Visibility is a pathway to credibility. So, it's something every business owner really dream of. And I love
Well,
that you're helping them with that.
Yes. And, here's the thing, even if you're not dreaming about it or don't even know where to start, one of the things I'm really big on is start thinking about visibility building activities. What are the things you can do that start getting you seen and heard, and that put you to the front of the line with regard to people choosing you for services ahead of any of your competition or people who do things like you? Because guess what? They've read about you, they've heard about you, they've seen you, and they've seen how you do things. So there's just immediate connection that starts happening. And what I know is that the people who are doing publicity, whether it's small or large, whether in your local area or, internationally, the great news is that you are more in the people's consciousness than maybe anyone else.
Certainly. Totally agree. You often say kindness fuels everything you do. What motivated you to take this path in publicity and communications?
Well, I wrote the book, The Profit of Kindness. And once I wrote that, I have to tell you, one day I look at my shelf and I have Guerrilla Publicity and I have The Profit of Kindness and other business books. I have 4 books, actually. And I start looking at these books and I go, Now, how does kindness and publicity work together? I mean, my publisher asked me to write The Profit of Kindness. It happened really quick, which is unusual in the publishing industry. And I realized that kind companies get more publicity. Kind companies. And this, by the way, you could be a one-person
Certainly.
company. You could be a person with a VA somewhere. I mean, it's not about size. It's about kindness. And so I started thinking about, everybody's concerned about ROI as important. And I started realizing that ROK, rocks, were also really important. And they became return on kindness principles, or rocks, ROKs. And so, things like flexibility is one of the rocks. Patience, oh my gosh, yes, especially in today's world, is one of the points of kindness that actually, you know, became, and what I've seen is companies who practice kindness. Again, it has nothing to do with size. You can be a one person small business entrepreneur. You practice kindness and it's a competitive advantage. You know why? People go, oh, I just like you. You're a nice person. You've heard this before, right? Oh, I like that person. And then they decide to do business with you because they like you. Isn't that interesting?
Yes,
And
it is.
it's simple, and it's something that most people miss, interestingly enough. And so with kindness, now we do kindness circles. And at the end, I'd love to give your listeners a link. It's completely free to join. And
Oh,
we
certainly.
do, yes, and we do interactive networking, which is based in kindness. So this has been a really wonderful thing that's made a big difference for many.
Amazing. Could you share any personal stories that you have overcome that has helped, I guess, propel you forward in your journey?
Yeah, well, let me tell you one time, being a publicity expert, which is my main thing, and I also teach on kindness and run these kindness circles. So one of the things is that I do a lot of public speaking, and of course, even before COVID, I was really, frankly, traveling a lot and being hired as a speaker, and that's all wonderful until one day in Canada yet, which, I'm from the US, so that has its own interesting issues, that I actually fell and fractured and broke both ankles at once in multiple places.
Oh,
Now, not only was it
no.
painful, yeah, not only was it painful, but I ended up in a wheelchair for 5 months. Okay, so think about this. I'm a speaker, I'm out there. It's not, let me just say, my whole world changed in that moment.
Certainly.
And you know what the most interesting part about it all was? Not only was, of course, it painful and all that I had to go through, but it was also about asking for help and then receiving help. Now,
Yes.
most entrepreneurs are kind of do it ourselves, get it done, I can do it kind of people. And then all of
Mhm.
a sudden, I couldn't do much at all and really had to ask for a lot of help, which was a really good lesson for me. And I would ask all of you to be open to receive help and, importantly, ask for help. Do
Wow.
collaborations. That's really important. And if you want to amplify your legacy, if you want to get yourself out there more, doing it in collaboration and connection and asking for help is really important.
Yeah, asking for help, that's definitely powerful, because so many of us are dealing with something that's unseen, so that focus on asking for help, being open, being compassionate is really essential.
Yes, and you know what? Finding right people who are like you, who want to help you, or who is, as one of my coaches says, a toe ahead of me, you in the water, because they've done that before. And
Hmm.
people do want to help and do want to mentor, and definitely, want to support. And I could find it interesting that most people aren't even asking.
I love the saying, be the first, pave the way. What do you hope to be the first in your family to do or to represent?
Well, I'm already the first in my family to be a college educated. I was the first one to graduate college. Then I went on to law school, which I actually dropped out of, but at least I made it into graduate school. That was
Certainly.
amazing.
Hmm.
Yes, I actually got a scholarship to undergrad. So For me, being a college graduate in my family, which is very blue collar and fairly uneducated, I mean, good people, but that was a big accomplishment right there. Okay. Then I went on to write a book and then 4 books. And of course, that was amazing. And I feel very grateful for all of the blessings that came from all of that. And that to me is something. I mean, who would have thought, right? Who would have even thought? And the other truth is being a speaker as well as an author, which requires a whole nother set of skills. The truth is, you may not believe it, but I was a very shy child. I really was.
And so was I.
Oh, you were? Yes. And here we are talking on podcasts together, right? And, frankly, I had to get over it. And so did you, obviously. And here we are. Now, by the way, this wasn't an easy journey. I had to train myself. I got coaches and mentors, just like I am to many now. You need people in your life who are surrounding you, who are smart, and then do what they say, right? And that's what I've always practiced in my life is who's doing what, and let's follow them. I don't have to recreate the wheels.
Oh, absolutely. Totally agree. Okay, so for someone listening who's ready to pick up the mic, step into the spotlight, what are a few publicity strategies everyone can do today?
Well, one thing I'd love to have you focus on is your message. Got to focus on your message first, get clear on it. And also what I've learned with thousands of people in my media mastery intensives is when you do your message first, and we always do it first. Why? Because it accelerates your confidence and it connects you with congruency on what you're putting out there. So I have a specific formula for message. It's identifying the problem out there. I didn't say, what do you do? I didn't ask you what you do, but I want you to talk instead about what's the problem out there. And then you, being the expert, all of you listening and watching, are solution providers. And then you want to give people, real easy solutions. What should they do? And you got to tell people what to do and give them value and benefit. So that's where you start and have that ready. Yes, and another great strategy is go to nationaldatecalendar.com. It's completely free. And find a holiday. Find a holiday or a time of year or something that fits what you do, and let's get you out for that. That's a great thing to do too.
Wow, great idea.
Thank
Definitely
you.
doable.
Yes,
it makes
exactly.
publicity less intimidating and more of an act of service.
Well, thank you. And that really is my path, truthfully. And, I had the big PR agency. I charged the big bucks and it was great. But truthfully, I want entrepreneurs, people with great messages, small businesses, to have access to what the big guns do have, and the big guys and the ones who spend $1 million on publicity. There's many things you can do as a small business owner, which I've started to define, which also are in Guerrilla Publicity and my free gift. I'll give you all kinds of stuff where you can actually get things done in simple ways too.
Love it. Okay, so before we wrap up, could you sum up your legacy in just one word? What would that be and why?
I think it is kindness. And I don't think it's any accident that I wrote the book, The Profit of Kindness, although it did seem to fall in my lap and I couldn't even figure it out for a while. So I would like to leave a legacy of kindness because I think that's an important attribute. And, you can be very successful. And if you're not kind, does it really, is that a good thing? I don't think so. Even if you make a lot of money. And imagine the world if this is what I really want to leave all of you with. Practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. Like just one conscious act of kindness. Random's good, but conscious act of kindness is better. And do something and make a difference every single day. And if we all did that, just one, imagine the world we would have. To me, what a difference that would make. So that's the legacy I want to leave.
I love that. Well, Jill, thank you for sharing your story with us and your legacy with us. Your journey shows us that kindness and visibility can go hand in hand.
Yes.
Yes,
they can.
Yes, give us the link where we can grab your free gift.
Absolutely. Okay. Go to jilllublin.com/guide, GUIDE. And there you will see a 2-part gift, which is filled with great publicity action guide. And on top of that, a wonderful opportunity to take basically a class interactive live with me. So make sure to click the second button, and that's a 2-part gift. JillLublin.com/guide. And come join us at our kindness circles. They're monthly, they're free, they're wonderful, and a chance for you to network and interact with other great business people and kind people. And you get that at JillLublin.com/kindness circles, plural. JillLublin.com/kindness circles.
Love it. Well, thank you once again, Jill. And for everyone listening, remember Jill's words: get seen, get heard, get paid. Small steps in sharing your story can really amplify your legacy in a big way. I'm Solana Brown, and this is the Amplify Your Legacy podcast. Until next time, keep telling your story, keep shining, and building the legacy that you deserve. Bye-bye for now.
That's all for this episode of Amplify Your Legacy. A huge thank you for listening in today. I hope today's conversation has sparked some reflection on your own legacy. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Solana Brown. And visit solanabrown.com for more resources on growing and preserving your legacy. Be sure to leave a rating or review. It helps others discover the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with inspiration and actionable strategies. Until next time, keep amplifying your legacy.